These poems are from my collection, They Hear Salt Crystallizing. Yeah. The first poem is about the Singaporean political leader Lim Chin Siong. He, along with 111 other trade union activists and leaders, was detained without trial by the PAP in 1963. On History for Lim Chin Siong, 1933 to 1996. Outside the prison, a radiant young man opens his hands and releases a dove. Someone has draped a garland round his neck. The weight is reassuring, like a comrade's arm. The bird is a little flustered by its freedom, swooping in unsteady arches, before it soars into the sky and alights onto a branch. The young man doesn't have time to contemplate its flight. There's a lot to do, new shifts to balance. Things are happening so fast in his country that they drown out the white thrashing of wings. This only resurfaces years later, after more pain in prison pushes him off his country, and the flashing political days end for good. In his London exile, the boxes of fruit and vegetables he sells each day calm him with their abundance. The people in the Bayswater grocery keep mispronouncing his name, so in the end they call him George. A new name helps him forget the way his country peeled from his eyes as the airplane took off. Sometimes he thinks of another man, the long-faced one with a Cambridge accent and tiny eyes. The one they called visionary because he spent his whole life forcing gold gloves on the digits he ruled so they would not clench into fists. Now he hears that the government has decided to put public money into bird feed, giving them so much to eat that they no longer sing at twilight or move their fattened wings. The second poem is about a former teacher of mine, Mr. Barnard. He was the head tutor of the Hwa Chong Humanities Program from 1979 to 2013. Poem for Mr. Barnard. We brought another island to settle over mine, like a vast bat, day's wings dipped in the sea. A vicar's atheist son who forgot that missionary schools sprang in this city's heart a century before him. Each year, students come to your island and its gods, taste the doctrine of freedom, and leave the way waves slip from ashore with a handful of white sand. As a child in South Africa, you saw a black servant tell your father his indignant benevolence of 100 weight of sugar was all gone. You tell me everyone called the hungry servants boys and girls. From your desk, you watch the few who follow your stories inland, into a forest thickening with yellow leaves, knowing they will find a clearing with a swamp, a stilt-legged village, a Union Jack slack on a merchant ship. The final poem is titled Guzzle of Winter. Guzzle of Winter for C. Outside, the homeless Glasgow help in all their languages. The words disperse like witches' ashes. Your nights are filled with arsonists and lonely politicians, charred cities drowned in posters like curling skin. What will survive of this is words and stardust. At customs they found nothing hidden in the bronze god. One night we read, ignorant ships kiss and pass. The next, the collision and 4 girls lying under stateless waters. Each morning brings 2 sets of dreams, the summoned and the lost. Every other space I learn to have with you, as days slide away like streetcars, along steel networks planned by neither of us.